This episode of the podcast is brought to you by the UK's #1 coral selling website, prestigereef.co.uk and reefdork.etsy.com for all your 3D printed aquarium accessory needs. Hello everybody, welcome to the Prestige Reef Talk Show. Today we are going to be talking about a very exciting new project. eBay for corals in the UK. There's weird stuff going on with eBay, but they have banned live animal sales in the UK. There are still loads of listings on eBay for fish and corals, but they keep getting. I think they've banned it, and they've not done a very good job of banning it. So, but every time people try to list it, some people can do it fine. Plenty of people get the listings pulled, and you've tried to do listings, and they've been withdrawn.
Mine get pulled for some reason. Yeah. Mine get pulled all the time. So it feels like they're picking on me. So what I did is I decided to create something of my own. So
exactly. So replacement.
I just wanted to stick two fingers up to it and go, I don't need you anymore. I'm going to do my own thing.
It's so stupid. I hate the ban. It's ridiculous because eBay is really popular. I rarely use it for corals, but it's really popular. And there are some people who've been selling on. We said before, people who've been selling on eBay for years.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? What's the harm you're trying to stop happening, eBay? But anyway,
it's very frustrating at the moment because, as I said, we've spoken about this before, and then I get messages from people going, "No, it's wrong. They changed their mind. They changed their mind." Because in America, yes, they did.
They did change their mind.
This is where it came from. Reef Builders put out an email that came from eBay. Interestingly, I'm pretty sure eBay.com, though, obviously the American version, their listings seem to be down as well. So I don't know if people stop listing because I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But obviously, I sent you a screenshot, didn't I? Of I don't know if you got the picture of just to prove to people once and for all that like this is happening. I have spoken to them. I've said I got a pet shop license, loads of things. They just do not care. So I sent Alex a picture which he's frantically tried to get, but
it hasn't come through.
Oh, is it not? Oh, okay. No. Basically, the picture was, I don't know if you can see this or not. These are all of the listings that have been removed for me. Yeah. And that is just a very, very tiny portion of them. So, and I did it. The dates on them are like the 30th of April, 28th of April, 1st of April, and all the way up till June, everything. I keep trying occasionally. It just, for whatever reason, I am not allowed. So,
and because it started, we did the live stream on this a while ago, just on eBay before your website was a thing, and so there was a bit of confusion actually because they had banned the sale of live animals, which was the live stream, and then someone commented afterwards, no, they reversed it. I just had an email, and I deleted that comment because I went looking and I couldn't find that anywhere. I was like, no, I'm not sure that's right. And then a few days later, it transpired that they had reversed it, but only in America.
But they didn't clarify. They didn't clarify it was only in America. But they did only send it to people with American accounts. So I never got that reversal email. And it was only because Reef Builders put it out that the whole world thought, oh, as they've reversed it then.
Well, the week after, we talked about it again and said, oh, look, they've reversed it. And then I had people contacting me saying, no, they haven't reversed it. Look, it's just in their live animals policy still says not allowed. And it was really unclear. And it was still, until they just actually deal with it and just completely close off, people are going to be going, what's going on?
And just to clarify one thing, because even I saw that some people are saying, oh no, it's up there, people are banned for other reasons because they're trying to get people on their shop or whatever. It literally says, hello, Prestige Reef. We have removed your listings because you didn't follow the live animal policy. Sellers may not list live animals on eBay. It is as clear as anything. So it's they've when I spoke to them, as I said before, they said they're going to get round to it. They've done all the fish. There's no goldfish on there. There's no koi on there. Nothing like that anymore. And it's just they're just getting round to corals. But I don't think the AI is as good with corals as it is with fish.
Yeah, because you'd think it would just be like they've got a load of subheadings that are corals, snails, whatever. Just delete those subheadings. But for whatever, but so here is the live animals policy. Live animals policy, ebay.co.uk. Sellers may not list live animals on eBay. It's like, well, then delete them. How hard is it, eBay? But anyway, it's all really confusing, which is why some people are saying, no, hang on, it's not right. But eBay has banned the sale of corals, fishing corals in the UK. But that doesn't matter because
it doesn't matter.
There is a new website.
Yes. So as soon as that happened, I thought to myself, well, it's worthwhile and people are going to need somewhere to go. And even if people don't go there, I will use it for myself anyway. So I have made the website www.coral-auctions.co.uk. So this is my new website. I still have my old website as well, but this is a website for me and everyone else. So anyone can list corals on here. You can't list corals at the moment. I want to test the system because obviously when I'm dealing with my money, it's fine because if something goes wrong, I can just contact the person directly and go, look, this has happened or whatever, and send them their money back. If it's someone else's money, I don't want that responsibility without having tested this.
Right,
so,
why have you taken my money?
Basically, yes. So I have put up 200 auctions, which I thought to test it with. It's only been open, I think this will be about 2.5 days. I think it's been open. There was a couple of people, about a couple of hundred people got access early, just to do a test, which was like, I was so glad I did that because they found some significant bugs. But those have all been fixed now. But I really want it to work. It was a lot of effort, not on my part. I'll be completely honest with you. So this was made.
Actually, so it was a lot of effort on your part, but more effort on the part of someone else.
Yes. Well. So Rachel, my girlfriend, is the one who sort of like did all the background work. I put all the pictures on there, but she was the one who essentially made the website. So it's and it wasn't easy. I can assure you, it was not easy for her. It was easy for me. I just sat back and watched her.
Yeah.
But we would test every night. We were testing, and then we would find something else that wasn't working, and then we would try again, and then we'd fix that. And there's a lot of communication between like 3 different plugins that are used for this. A plugin is basically like an app, essentially. So someone has created the auction side of it, and then we put that on there. But there's still a few minor things that aren't working. Alex found one before, but which we know of. But it's good enough to go now, if you see what I mean. I didn't want to delay it any longer. And if people can't search by, I don't know, highest to lowest price, it's not gonna affect people massively, if you see what I mean.
It'll still work, yeah.
And
these are the bugs that you're ironing out whilst for the first week or whatever. And because actually, so from my point of view, I look at this and I'm like, this is very similar to your existing website, prestigereef.co.uk, only it's auctions, which is, I suppose, a significant. So you might get a Scotty for a tenner. You probably won't, but it's not impossible. But anyway, so at the moment, it looks like your website. In a week or two's time, there'll be loads of people on there selling, and that's when it'll be really exciting.
People have been uploading already their own auctions, and I have been taking them down and messaging people, going, "Look, obviously, it says in the starter email, don't do it yet for this reason because I want to test everything." And then, as of the 1st of July, by all means, everyone can go to town. You can put whatever you want on there. I think it will hurt me a little bit once that happens and the reason it will hurt me a little bit is because at the moment it all looks like uniform and
I see.
And as soon as other people's corals start going up, it doesn't look the same because obviously I've seen it already. But I won't be doing the black backgrounds either once. I've done it literally just for this. It takes too long, and
if you're uploading,
and I'm not sure people want it either. I think
I'm more excited to see. I don't want it to be, as a buyer myself, I don't want it to be uniform. The best thing about that is that there are loads of different sellers. It's an aggregation website, so I don't just want to go on Signature Frags or Prestige Reef. I want to see all of them at the same time, and so there are loads of different sellers with loads of different things. That's where, so it'll be, it'll be hurting your OCD, but for me it'll look
yeah. I think that this could significantly change the way some people buy corals, because there's a lot of people that wouldn't buy corals off eBay there's hundreds of people have signed up to the website already, and I don't know if these are all people that buy on eBay. I don't know if it's because most of these people are my own customers, like from the website and stuff like that.
Why would people buy from this website and not from eBay?
I spoke to Rachel about this earlier. I think the fact that it's a specific coral website gives people more confidence than eBay, which is just anyone. Now, obviously, there will be some well-known sellers on there. I think a few people have they've said we're definitely in. Shops, like, it doesn't matter. Everyone can do it. It's like they could. There is sometimes like the industry can be quite cutthroat, because obviously it's a niche, which means everyone's trying to get the same customers.
Small pond, yeah.
But and some people would think, oh, this might be harmful to the shops, because obviously it's another way that people are selling online. I actually look at this totally differently. If a small shop which doesn't have a website wants to start a website, it's very difficult to get the traffic to come to them, isn't it? Would you agree?
Yeah. Well, it's a pain. Yeah, but there's a million reasons why it's difficult. And even when you've created a great website, how do you get people there? Search engine optimization, all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I just thought, what could happen? And I've spoken to a few smaller shops, not well-known ones. And they're like, that's really interesting, actually. And I explained to them, look, if you've never shipped coral before, don't worry, I will teach you how to ship coral. Yeah, because it's not about how to do it. It's about whether you have the time to do it. But if shops are, some of the shops that are struggling could be struggling less if they start to sell online, by all means, this might be a solution. So because there's definitely a shop that I know that's near me that when I spoke to them, they went, I would never have a website because no one will buy off it. And I'm like, well, you don't need to worry anymore, because there's thousands of people going to this website. It's only been open a couple of days, and literally like thousands of people have visited. Not everyone has signed up. And I think that's because obviously no one can buy anything for a week anyway. So it doesn't particularly make any difference. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So either way, I think I've had a lot of positive feedback from it already, from both customers or potential customers, and also people in the industry. So even I spoke to a wholesaler today, shops, like all different online sellers. It'll be really interesting to see who goes, actually, you know what, I'm going to sign up to this and I'll join in. Because you're right, if it's a whole range of different people, it becomes far more interesting for people. So that's why I literally said to everyone, there's 25% discount off Prestige Reef if you share the website, because I want as many people to get as possible to know about it. So
spread the word. But it's like because if you go on, if I go looking for a house, I don't go on the Foxtons website, I go on Rightmove, because I want to see everybody, and that's what this is going to be basically. Rightmove for corals. Right Coral. Oh, I could start up a rival website called Right Corals.
Good. Yes. You should try it.
I'm on it. Can you ask Rachel if she will help me with the website? Is that right?
She charges a lot of money. So, but yeah, we'll see. You never know how successful something's going to be. It appears to be successful at the moment. It is great fun watching people bid. It is great fun because I see every single person who signs up and every single bid that goes on. I can see it, and there starts to be rivalries that we see between people. So the Scully, for example, there's a guy called Stephen and a guy called Nigel, and it was Stephen, and then a minute later, Nigel, and then Stephen, and then Nigel, and it was going backwards and forwards. And all of a sudden, Glenn gets involved, and it's me and Rachel sitting there going, "Who's this Glenn?" So it's it's really I
I
don't
was the
know.
first person to bid on that. I've just looked.
You were the first. No, I think I was the first person to bid on it, wasn't I? Because there's a couple of test
It says
things.
auction started 15th of June.
Yeah.
First bid, Reef Dork,
Oh, maybe it
923.
was.
I think I was
Oh,
doing a test, wasn't I?
yes. And then you told me there was an issue with it, I think, or Jamie told me there was an issue, and then Rachel and I put our bids on it to test it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we weren't bidding it up. We only put £18 on there. It was never going to sell for £18. So,
No.
but like, I'm happy to show people like the website if people are interested. And the other thing that I'd like to do, I would like to stress test it today, actually. And when I say stress test it, I want to get as many people on it from this live stream. You don't need to go sign up. You can sign up if you want, but I want to get as many people on it as possible to see if it either lags or crashes. So if you're just sitting at home at the moment, so Alex just put the link in the chat. What I'm going to do to make it a bit more interesting for you all, I am going to upload 2 torch corals. One of them is a Rapunzel, and I think the other one's a New York Knicks, live on the stream now. The auction, I'm going to do them for £1. The auction will end at 9 o'clock tonight. So, and there's 2 reasons. First, I wanted to stress test it before obviously 200 corals end next Sunday, which I think that might be slightly more stressful for it. And the other reason is because I want to double check like the payment system. We've done the payment system with myself and Rachel, but to have a random person do it, it will just confirm that it's definitely going to work. So
I want to do something in that case. So there's these two torch corals that are going on there. What I want is everybody, all sign up, all go and have a look on the website, stress test it. That's fine.
Yeah.
But we need to find one person to get a bargain, because if you're just going to bid on it, someone's going to end up paying 50 quid, 100 quid, whatever. But if we just let one person bid on it, so the first person who bids on it, no one else bid, and then Ryan loses out, and someone gets a quid, £1 torch.
Good, nice. I'm not sure it's going to work like that. The reason Alex is saying that is because Alex has already got his finger on the button. Wouldn't that be so funny if you were the first person that did it?
Those are the rules. Sorry, I don't make them up.
There's a couple of questions. If you have any questions about the website, let me know in the chat, because I'm happy to answer them for you. Someone's asked if do you have a reserve price? You can put a reserve price on them. I am not putting a reserve price on any of mine at the moment. So everything from torches to Catalophilias to like everything, Ghani's starts off for me at $9.99, and then it just goes obviously up from there. There is no reserve, so but you can set a reserve, and you can also set a buy it now. And with regards to collection, yes, there is an option for collection as well. At the moment, though, so we only realized this yesterday, no one knows where everyone lives. So if you uploaded something to say, and people can collect it from you, no one's going to know where in the UK you live, if you see what I mean.
Can you not put Southampton or whatever?
It doesn't. We haven't looked into it properly yet. We only realized this morning or yesterday.
Okay.
So, it's something that you only find out at checkout. So at checkout it says collect from and then your postcode, but I don't know. We'll see. So yeah.
Well, in terms of stress testing it, it's going well, because I'm trying to access it and it's going really slowly.
It's actually true.
And literally half an hour ago it was fine, and now it's there's a load of people.
See, this is the problem. We might have to. We've already upgraded the server once. We might have to upgrade it again.
What did I say about upgrading the server at the end of the weekend?
Yeah, I know. Right. Actually, I'm not even. You're right. It could also be that we're streaming, so maybe it is really slow. Okay, that is very interesting. This is the first time that we've had, but don't know. Okay, maybe this might not work.
There we go. Stress test has worked. Very slow.
Okay, there you go. This is exactly what I need to know. Oh, and Rachel's just messaged me. There's 74 people on the site at the moment.
Is that it?
Well,
that's all it took.
Yeah. That's all it took, apparently. So,
okay. Well, there you go.
Right. There you go. So that shows me that we need to upgrade the server. This is like a communal effort. This is what I like. I got so much feedback from people as well. People were going, I really like the website, but can you make an app? Or I really like the website, or can you add this? And then there was this one person who went, I really like the website. No, actually, that's not even what he said. He went, I don't like the picture at the top of the screen. and that was
Yeah,
Alex. Alex was the first
Yeah.
person that I asked for feedback, and that was what he came back with.
Yeah, don't like it. Get rid of it. Northern Ireland, I think that's not allowed because of some regulation or something, right?
Yes. So basically, it's since Brexit, the border between Ireland and the UK is that sea. Is it the Irish Sea? Is that what it is? Do you know that sea? And it's as simple as that. People ask me all the time. I cannot ship to Ireland.
Technically, it's the border between Great Britain and Northern Ireland, I think, because the United Kingdom is the United Kingdom of Great Britain, England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland.
Yes, but Northern Ireland is not part of the CITES border, basically. But
basically, you can obviously not Ireland, Republic of Ireland is out of the question completely.
Yeah.
But Northern Ireland, you're not allowed to ship corals from Great Britain to Northern Ireland, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's
which is a shame, but
yeah, it is a shame because I'd like to be able to. On the upside, though, they can get coral from Europe, so you got a whole lot more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're allowed to. Why?
Northern Ireland.
People are so annoyed that they can't get stuff from England, but I'm like, what's wrong? You can get stuff from like white corals and stuff if you want.
Oh, that's so good. What's the place that does load of acros? Euro corals.
Yeah, Euro corals. Yeah,
they will. Oh, yeah. God, I wish I lived in Northern Ireland. I'm going to move to Northern Ireland now.
That is interesting because I was going to show you how to use the website, and now I can't because it's too slow. So I'm amazed that it's gone so slow now.
I'm feeling so smug right now. I really am.
Why are you feeling smug? This was what I wanted. This was like literally the purpose of this.
I said you're going to need to upgrade it.
Yeah. Alex went, you're going to need to upgrade your server. But he went, I bet you upgrade your server by next week. The problem is like the jump it becomes quite. So I think it's like
it's going to cost me £3.50 though. I don't want to spend £3.50.
No, it's going to cost £300 a month to upgrade the server, which is a lot unless someone else in the chat knows a better idea. So Rachel keeps messaging me. So she just went, she must be listening. She went, do you want me to upgrade it now? I think we might need to, but let me mentally prepare myself to upgrade it. So before I do it now.
You know how people with eBay, some people are like, no, it's still okay to sell. Well, JC's Reef is doing the same thing, but with Northern Ireland. He says you can send to Northern Ireland. You
cannot send to Northern Ireland. It's like if you look at all of the online sellers, they all say we do not send to Northern Ireland. That it's entirely possible that some people will send to Northern Ireland.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
But you're not allowed to legally, and for me, it's not worth the risk.
It's not worth the risk. Exactly. There was some rule recently that came in on Etsy, and I had to cut Northern Ireland off as well, or Republic of Ireland. I think it was Northern Ireland, and I can't remember what it was. It was some stupid, probably the same thing as this, some stupid rule, and it was possible. You just have to do a load of work to enable yourself to prove that you're selling safely, or I can't remember what it was. And the reality was, it's not practical to do that. You just can't do it. So technically it was possible. I mean, maybe this is technically legally possible if you do certain things, but it just sounds like it's because technically you could buy a coral from America. You'd have to get a CITES permit for that one coral.
Yeah, and they don't give out. I don't think you'd be able to even get a CITES permit for it.
Yeah,
because they don't do CITES permits between the UK and America, so it's not. Yeah. It's not as something simple to do. Otherwise, people would do it if it's worth their while. So that is interesting. That is a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame. It really is a shame.
It's a shame that I was talking about. It's a shame that it's not worked. Right. So what I will do, I will give everyone like 10 minutes if you want, and then I will. And if you all get off the website, then I will then show it to you.
Are you hosting it on Raspberry Pi? Says Rama.
I don't know. I don't know what that is, but I'd have to.
It's like a £2 computer. You're using the local McDonald's Wi-Fi for it, aren't you? So.
Yeah. It's like remote. It's like cloud hosted server. So we just upgrade it. So, but you're right. It probably would be. Let's put it this way. If you think about it, someone just said get your own local server. If it costs £300 a month, like I don't know how much a local server is going to cost, but it'll be cheaper.
Probably a lot. So I know next to nothing about servers, but Amazon Web Services makes billions of dollars a minute
Yeah.
because they do all the hosting and that sort of stuff, and it's
Okay.
just it's a license to print money.
It's thrown me off a little bit. So,
Yeah.
but just because, as I said, I was prepared. But look, we'll still do it. What I'll do at 7:30, I will show people. Rachel, if you're listening, can you just send me a message to tell me that everyone's got off of it, or at least it's down to a manageable level?
Oh, it's quicker. It's quicker. Quick, everybody, go back on. No, don't.
No, because as I said, it's frustrating because you keep finding new things, and I had a feeling that this might happen. So,
yeah. But this is good because it's a week old. It's not even a week old. It's a few days old.
Yeah.
And actually, you've already ironed out quite a lot of kinks, but there's always going to be little issues. And if the worst issue is when a load of people go on it, because we're talking about on a live stream and asking people to go on it, it gets a bit slow. Well, that's fine because actually, day to day, you're not going to have 100 people on it at all times.
Yeah, it's not. It's been fine. And to be fair, I think I've never. Let's put it this way: it's very rare for the Prestige Reef website to get 74 people on it. So
really,
yeah, like that's unusual. Not in one go. Like I get hundreds of people every day, but not 74 people at the same time.
Right.
So
interesting.
yeah, it's but we shall see. Right, what I will do, as I said, at 7:30, I will tell everyone to get. Well, you can get off now, basically. And then at 7:30, I will upload those 2 torches. I will show you how to do it. There you go, Les. Yeah, perfect, Les. You're the man because you you like that sort of stuff, don't you? So anyway, tell me about your week in reefing.
Me?
Yeah. You got 5 minutes.
I've not really done. So this is the height of summer. Okay, so it's only the hardcore of the hobby who are still like going regularly and doing loads of stuff. So if you're watching this live stream, well done. You are a hardcore reefer.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've not done a massive amount. I bought a gunny today and then forgot about it. And I remembered I'd been sat in my sump for about 5 hours. And then I remembered about 15 minutes before I was normally come up and talk to you. So I was like, just gotta dip it. Hang on. And apart from that, I started setting up a tank. Oh, I started setting up a tank.
Okay. I saw that as the TMC one, isn't it?
It is. It's a 24-hour tank challenge. So I've got to set up in a TMC mode. I've got a day to set up, 24 hours to set up the tank. And what I needed to do was I needed to start on. I needed to have an overnight session because if I did it in a day, I don't think I'd have been able to do it because you need all the dust to settle and that sort of stuff. So what I've done tonight is I've rinsed all the sand. Sorry, I've got the rock ready. I've mixed up the salt and I've put that all in. And now it's just got to settle overnight. So it's got to get up to temperature, and it's got to the salinity's got to settle and all that sort of stuff. And because there's always dust, isn't there? So that the dust has got to go.
Yeah.
And if that all goes overnight, which it should do, it's looking pretty clear to be fair. If that all goes swimmingly overnight, then tomorrow morning I've got to go and I've got to make sure I've got to put all the bacteria in it. So I've got the same thing I do. I've got fluval biomax balls, they call them. They're in my sump. They've been there for months. And when last time I set up a quarantine tank, I took a load of those out. I put them in the quarantine tank. I put a few fish in there. No issues whatsoever. So it was wicked. So the fish-wise, safety of the fish, which is the most important thing, of course.
Yeah.
No problem. That will be fine. So I need to do that tomorrow. Then I'm going to borrow some corals from Reef Keeper, put them all in there, see if I can get it all set up, ready and done. And with a bit of luck, that'll be done by, I think I've got till 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock something like that tomorrow. And if I can do that, job done. And then I've won. Yeah. I don't know what I win, but
yeah, I'm not quite sure what the purpose of this project is. I know you want to set it up, but why?
What I've found is, so I just wanted to do a couple of videos about that tank because I think it's a really good beginner tank. It's not the most sophisticated, most advanced tank in the world, but for beginners, it's brilliant. It's very much like the Fluval Evo, so it'll get more people into the hobby. So really, the main thing is I wanted to show that tank and do a couple of videos showing it. I'm also going to do one more, maybe 2 more videos after that. But that was really what I wanted to do. But what I found is on my motorbike channel, I've done a couple of videos where I've set myself a challenge because I wanted to find out how many miles I can get out of a tank of fuel on 2 of my bikes, or all of my bikes, actually, 3 of them. And you could just drive around the M25 till you run out of fuel, but that's boring. So what I've done, and I've done 3 of these now, is I've set myself a challenge. I went to the highest road in Wales on one bike. I went to Land's End on another one. And then last weekend, I went through 5 countries on one tank of fuel. And when you've got this, when you have to do, you've got a limit or a target or something, it makes it so much more interesting. I actually really enjoyed, like, if going to the highest road in Wales, that's boring. It's not, there's nothing exciting about it. But going when you think you're going to run out of fuel any minute because you've calculated it so it should be pretty much really, really fine, it makes it really exciting. So doing a 24-hour challenge where I've got 24 hours to set up the tank, I can't have things going wrong. I've got to do things quickly. I've got to make sure I do everything properly. So it's great. It just makes it a bit more exciting. And so I don't know if it'll make it more exciting for viewers, but it's made it more exciting for me.
Well, you go and it's also you're going out and living life, if you see what I mean. Like you're going and doing stuff.
An adventure. It's like,
other than sitting at home, it's better to do that. So
and what I've got, so I haven't worked out what I'm going to say yet, but at the end of the video, what I need to be saying is, look, this is not a how-to guide, this video. So I need to be saying, and I'll say something at the start, I haven't worked out yet, but basically the thing is, it's just to see if I can set up in 24 hours. It's not a good idea. And actually, if I were to keep that tank long term, the next few months would be hell, because you'd have to have the lights on full. So you get algae and all this sort of stuff everywhere. The algae would start competing with the corals, so the corals would look sad, and it would look wicked for the first couple of weeks. And then after that, be a disaster, be a right pain in the backside. And also, the other thing I thought was that actually, if that's not a reason enough to persuade you not to do it, setting up a reef tank is about the journey. If you do it all in one day, it's boring. It's completed. Right. It's like, well, I'm done. I've got nothing to look forward to. I can't go next week and buy that next coral, or I can't go to the fish shop and find a new crab or whatever, So actually, it's I don't think anyone would want to do it, but I'm keen to stress this is not a good idea.
I was going to say, I wonder how people are going to be like, this is irresponsible, showing people how to do this.
Yeah, well, that's it. You always get paranoid when you're making videos like this, don't you? Because you don't want, for a start, I don't want people to think that I am being irresponsible, and also I don't want to give ammunition to the trolls to tell me that I'm doing things wrong, that sort of stuff. So there's a couple of things that I'm going to do that'll make it all fine, and I do want to put across the message of, look, this isn't necessarily a good idea for you to do. I'm not encouraging it, but these are the steps that I've taken that will mean that the welfare of the animals is going to be fine, because it will be fine. And I've done this. This is not the first time I've done this sort of thing anyway, so it's fine. But it's really exciting. It's good fun. And I've got it. The tank is now, it's wet. I've got all the sand, all that sort of sand and rock in there. It's all ready. And it just needs to, the temperature is too low. It's about 22.5 degrees. So it needs to go up to 25. That's the one thing that could scupper me. I don't know how long the tank temperature will take to get up to, because I'm using just a thermometer, a heater, sorry, with a little dial. And I don't know how accurate that dial is. So I've set it to 25 degrees, but it might be that means 23 degrees or 27. So what I need to do is I'm hoping that by the end of this live stream, I'll go out and check, and it will be roughly at the right temperature, or too high so I can adjust it. Because if I wake up, it is. If I wake up in the morning and it's 28 degrees, then I won't have time to. I'll have to adjust it down, and then I won't have time to set. So yeah, still got challenges ahead, but I think it should be all right, to be fair.
Yeah. Well,
but so my weekend reefing has basically been today. That's it. I've not really done anything. Because it's been hot and sunny, hasn't it? Actually, that's the point. Temperatures. So tank temperatures. So this week in the UK, it got to like 31 degrees, which is 90 something Fahrenheit.
Got to 31 degrees. What? Where you are? Not where I am.
Yeah, this week. It
was like 29, I think, yesterday.
Well, I mean, potato.
Well,
but
it's hot for the UK.
Yeah, but 29 or 31 is, anyway, whatever. It's been hot. Okay. It's been hot. So tanks get hot when the weather gets hot. Who knew? My tanks have got to, this one up here, my tanks, I've nailed cooling now. Bearing in mind I don't have aircon, that's the ideal situation. But this one got to 26.5 peak this week, and the one downstairs, the main tank, was about 25.5, and they both run at 24 as standard. And so this one, I've just got the fans on the top, blowing across on a temperature controller. And what I've been doing whilst I've been during the day is I leave it. You can't see, actually. There we go. I've had the cabinet doors open for ventilation. And on the tank downstairs, there are PC fans built in that are just on 100% of the time. And that ventilates the cabinet. It makes such a difference. And that's why the main tank doesn't really overheat anymore at all.
Yeah.
I've still got a cooling fan blowing across the top, but a ventilation fan in the cabinet is like, it's my cheat code for keeping tanks cool in the summer.
It's interesting because normally I would panic about temperature, but so the water box hasn't got any corals in it because I was dosing silicates, and so I didn't even even though there's air conditioning there, I didn't even think about it because fish obviously can handle a lot more. So I've been very relaxed compared to usual with regards to it. So mine got to 27. I think the highest I've ever had a tank get to, I think, was 28.6 or something. That was a long time ago, and that had coral in it. That was probably like, I don't know, 14 years ago, and it was fine, but that's like the limit of what you can do. And it was mostly soft corals, so it wasn't like
still another half a degree, and that feels like it's on the edge. So I can't remember what the most was either, but my tank a few years ago, my last tank, the Peninsula, that got up to something like 28, and I was starting to think, because there was one day in the UK last year, I think it was, when it was 40 degrees, which is mental. It was the hottest day on record, and I don't think that was too bad for me here because I've got my cheat code ventilation. But a couple of years ago, it's got really hot, and it was like my tank was like 28 point something, and that's at the point where you're like, this could be an absolute disaster. And that was acros in that tank. Like, if it goes any hotter, I'm in real trouble.
That's what's happening in the actual ocean.
Yeah, exactly.
Although
That's
it's not really temperature, is it? I think it's the CO2 which is causing more of a trouble than the temperature, I think. But is that
knock-on effect or something? But
yeah, it's something to do with that, I think. But
science, are they?
Yeah.
But
anyway,
but yours got up to 27 or something.
Yeah, 27, which is all right. But it's interesting because people have put in the comments. So Mantis Reef said you got to 29. So 28, 29.7 yesterday. Oh,
dude,
that is like
I'm not surprised you were panicking. Was everything okay? That's honestly, that's I would have been beside myself.
So at the moment you ship corals without heat packs, and they, as far as I know, everyone said that they're all turning up fine. But interestingly, I received a coral from someone, and that did arrive. That died basically. So I can't work out what went wrong with that. And the only thing I can think of is it was something to do with the temperature at some point, maybe for that box. But I don't like you. It's fine to ship in this weather. So I just worry about. I'm always worried about like the temperature of the back of the vans. But because when I ship differently when it's hot, I use loads of bubble wrap and I will use bigger boxes. So if I've got maybe 4 or 5 corals, they'll probably go into a big box, whereas normally they'll go into a small box. And I use extra bubble wrap to properly insulate it, and then they're usually fine. So, but touch wood, I haven't lost any. So only the one that I bought, I lost. So it's a shame because it was that Gonny, the Gorgonian. Sorry, is what it was.
What point would he get? Well, we have a record 30.18. 29.8 for Reef Keeper. That's crazy.
All these people live on the edge.
32. That must be freshwater. Freshwater, all right.
Yeah, but you would have thought that freshwater would struggle more. Not more, but like that's. I don't know really with freshwater. Is there must be a maximum limit?
It's just fish, though, isn't it? You haven't got corals in freshwater, so.
We have plants.
Some fresh water fish, like what are the discus? Yeah, discus. Yeah. Discus need like 30 degrees or 28 or something. So.
Do they?
But yeah.
See, we're learning today.
Yeah.
So, anyway, do you want me to show everyone?
Discus.
Has everyone got off the website? That's what I need to know. So, because I can share my screen with you now, can't
28 to 30 degrees for discus.
You want to just keep talking about the temperature, don't you?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm British, Ryan. I've got to talk about the weather.
True. That's really, I never knew that discus like 30 degrees. So,
yeah,
it's interesting.
Must be difficult keeping it that hot. Well, not difficult, but expensive.
Yeah. I would never want discus. They're supposed to be even more difficult than marine fish. But so, anyway. Is that your weekend
Yeah.
roofing done?
And more boring. So
True. Yes. True.
yes.
I had a
That's it.
customer.
I've done basically nothing.
Nothing. There you go. I have a copper band that's in the quarantine system.
There's a
at the
slight
moment.
delay, by the way. There's a delay.
I noticed that it seems weird, like when you're talking to me. So that's why it's like we're sort of interrupting each other, I think. But would you like me to go onto the website to give people a tour? Should we give it a go? Or if there's going to be a delay, is it not going to work?
What? Yeah, go crack on.
Crack on. Right.
Yeah.
I need to share my screen. So it says present, so I can do that. And then
Share screen.
Share screen.
Entire
There you
screen.
go.
Or window.
Share screen.
Talking amongst yourselves, everybody.
I tell you, I've never done this before. Window. Which one do I do? Chrome, Coral Auctions. There you go.
Here we go.
There you go. Is that working?
Yes. Hang on 1 sec. It's just I've got to remove that one, and now I've got to. This software is so rubbish. Right, here we go.
Is it working now?
Yeah.
Because I obviously can't see myself anymore, so I'm just going to give you a little tour. So this is, I'll just very quickly show you. This is the homepage. The homepage is set up so that every time someone lists a new coral, it will always be here. So this is always going to be the newest coral. So obviously when lots and lots of people are uploading, this will change constantly. And it's something which I think would actually benefit my other website, because if I upload new corals, people don't know when the new ones are up. So this will be where you come to look for that. And then if you want all of the auctions, you go here. So there is also a search function. And so if you're looking for a specific Montipora, for example, it is going slow still, isn't it? If you're looking for a specific Montipora, for example, you could literally type Montipora into here, and it will show you all the Montiporas. So this page is designed to show 200 corals. It is in this order. So again, this is the ending soonest. This is when how do I put it? So this is the function that Alex found earlier that doesn't work. So the sort function doesn't work. You don't need to tell me. I've had a few people tell me. So these are all the corals which are uploaded. And then let me show you how easy it is to upload. So you literally go to my account. It should be faster than this for you. Go Store Manager. And then normally this is like instant auctions. It's actually designed to be easier to do than eBay. So add new, because I time myself. It takes like 28 seconds to do a thing. So I'll just do torch. You type torch in. How do you spell Rapunzel?
Rapunzel.
Rapunzel. Rapunzel torch. And then here, media library. And this is where obviously all your pictures are. There's the Rapunzel one. Select. Then you can put description if you want to. I'm not going to do a description for this one. And then I will put £1 there. This is where you can set a reserve or a buy it now price. And then you just click the end date as today and the end time as 9 o'clock. Oh, that's interesting. There you go. I've just found another bug. See, this is what I'm doing this for. Right. So end time 8:59, submit, and that's done. Oh, I did the opening price as 0. I don't think it'll accept that. But
do you know what you've just done?
What?
You've committed us to work to carrying on until 9 o'clock.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. We don't have to. We don't have to. I don't mind. Has that gone up with a zero price? I mean, it's fine if it does. Me. So don't go on yet. Everyone's about to run on. Don't go on yet because
does that mean if I bid £0, can I get that for free if no one else bids?
In theory. Let's see what let's see what this does. And then you click add new because I'm going to do another one. Yeah, it's so slow it's literally never ever this slow. It just isn't. This is the first time this has come up. There you go. See, it's in the newly listed section. You can see that I didn't take the black background off because torches do not like it when you remove the black background. It sort of like just absolutely mangles them.
What software do you use to remove the background? Canva.
Canva. Yeah, Canva. Yeah. And then the other one is a New York Knicks torch. And then we go here again. I know this is riveting viewing, but this will be helpful for some people. as I said, I designed it to be as easy as possible because I obviously was uploading 100 of them at a time, and it's just too much hassle. £1. There you go. One. There you go.
Yeah, so you can set a lowest price as well, a lower.
You can set, yeah, that's the reserve price. But the other thing that's good is that you can literally set it to end. You can't do this on eBay. You can choose the 3, 5, or 10 days. I think on eBay, you can set it to end whenever you want.
Actually, so now when I sell stuff on eBay now, I just list the price is the price, and that's it. I don't do auctions, but it used to drive me crazy because you have to set 7 days or 10 days or whatever, and I always wanted it to finish on a Sunday night. But that means if you think to list it on a Monday, you've got to wait until bloody Thursday before you list it starts. It's just like, yeah, that's really good. I like that.
I just received a new notification. See, that's the other thing. What's interesting as well, you can if you save the info at coral-auctions email into your phone, it notifies you automatically. You have to actually save it as a contact, and then when you get an email, it says you've been outbid, or you've placed a bid, or I don't know. I think I've removed you placed a bid one, but yeah.
Can you? I've got a question actually. So you had that set there a minute ago, and it was saying that you can put a buy it now price.
Yes.
Can you put it so it's just there is no auction, it's just buy it now? So as in like you want buy, okay, you can do.
Yeah, you can. So and that's what a lot of people want anyway.
That's what I want.
Yeah, that's what a lot. Yeah, because
some people love auctions. I personally don't. I don't. For corals, I don't. I like buy. I like. What's the price? I want to buy it now. If I want it, I don't want to wait until Sunday to find out that I was £2 short and I lost out. So, but some people love that.
I'm just checking.
50 quid. Oh no, guys, you've ruined it. I said
someone ruined it. So there you go. They're both up. You can see they're both there.
Okay. So what's the other one? Is the other one £0 as well?
The other one's £1 still.
Yes. Come on.
Look, if everyone decides that they don't want it and only one person bids £1, then it will sell for £1. It is as simple as that.
Do it.
It's funny, Rachel just sent me a message saying, I've updated your listings for you because you did it wrong. So I don't know where I did it wrong, but I think I did it to end tomorrow rather than today, but she's probably done it. But yeah.
Happy days.
But yes, that is it. I needed it to be as easy as possible because I used to spend hours on a Tuesday. You're right. It was a Tuesday because between 7 and 9 because you had to upload it between that time frame, didn't you?
You can schedule it so it just doesn't start until later time. But I just want it like if I'm selling something on eBay, I want it live now. It used to drive me crazy. Oh, have I got a beer coming? Yes.
So one of the questions that came up a minute ago on the chat was how can you protect the buyers basically? It's no different to like Ultimate Reef or Facebook. How do you protect the buyers? The difference with this though is that the seller is not going to be paid their money straight away. It's the same with eBay where the money is held for a week. In that week's time, it should all go fine. There is a terms and conditions. There's a policy which is exactly the same as my policy, Worldwide Corals policy, Signature Frags policy. They're all roughly the same. Which is like if it arrives, and so basically it has to arrive by 1 o'clock. You need to notify the person of the coral in the bag within 3 hours. If it's died, it's as simple as that. Yeah. Now, if between the buyer and the seller, they need to work out any issues between them with regards to this. So you will originally communicate with each other. I will hope that people will follow that, because if you don't, you will be banned. It is as simple as that. Yeah, okay. I will not be dealing with hassle and nonsense of people selling like £5 coral. The £5 coral dies, and then someone does it for. Basically, it's very simple. You stick to the policy, you are covered. You'll get your money back. If you do not stick to the policy, if you message even a minute after the 3 hours, because people do this with me, with regards to the coral farm, they'll message like, I don't know, 4 hours later. And I will go, look, don't worry, we'll deal with it. You can have your money back, or I'll that's fine. If it's other people's stuff, the policy is the policy. It is as simple as that. Yeah. Because where is the line?
Well, I guess it's up to the seller, because if that's me and someone, because generally, like if you get a coral in the post, lot of people will be like, "Oh, amazing! I want to do it immediately."
Yeah.
Other people will be just like, "Let me just, I'll sign for it and I'll chuck it in the sump and I'm doing something, so I'll come back to it later." And if that's me, I understand that. And as long as it's not someone taking the mick, I don't care if you're half an hour late, an hour late, whatever.
Yeah.
If the coral's died, I know it's because of my shipping. So I guess it must be up to the vendor to
Yeah. Oh, look,
set their own
100%.
standards, community standards.
Look, I think I need to make it very, very clear. I do not want this website to ruin my life. And if people don't play fair on it, you can ruin it for everyone else, because I'll just take away the function so that people can't sell on it, and I'll just sell my own stuff on it, which is fine. I just I can't have it where people are messaging me going, I'm not happy with this person or whatever. They need to be able to communicate with each other like adults, and to go, like, the sellers should want to go do the right thing because they want to have repeat custom, and the buyers also. But also the other thing I want to say, the review system as well. So the review system is currently not working. That's one of the things that even the people that are doing the people that do the plugin are fixing it at the moment. So this isn't something that we can do. This is something that they are doing. We're hoping that by next week it'll be fixed. But people need, remember, everyone starts from scratch on this website, so everyone has zero feedback. Like, if you're leaving a 1-star or review for someone who's got zero feedback and it's for something tiny, then you
be nice.
You've got to be fair. This is it will significantly affect that person potentially. Especially, let's put it this way: if it's someone like Jason's, what's it called? Jason's
Aquatics.
Frags
Are Us.
Who's got thousands and thousands of positive feedback. Someone just said it's not New York Knicks. That's probably true. I literally just clicked the picture and uploaded it. So either way, it's what you see is what you get. So
yeah.
So if you like that torch and it's not a New York Knicks thing, then that's fine. What was I saying? Where was I? Lost my train. Oh yeah. So with regards to the reviews stay there forever. And if Jason Aquatics has got 1,000 or 2,000 positive reviews on eBay, and he starts on this and he's got 1 star because one person, I don't know, got an Aptasia or something went slightly, or the Royal Mail didn't ship it on time. You have to be fair. It's about for everyone. The sellers need to be fair to the buyers, and the buyers need to be fair to the sellers. And that's all I'm going to say, because I do not want the hassle. And I can't remove feedback either. So it's not even like I can look at it and go, I think that's unfair, I'll remove that. I can't remove it.
Interesting. Okay.
So
so I've just had a look at it. You're right, it's not a New York Knicks. That looks like Hellfire, Dragon Soul, something like that to me.
Yeah, that's what to be fair, I thought
You're
that
absolutely right. It's not.
when I took the picture.
False advertising.
Yeah, I'll change it now.
There we go. It's already got 25 quid bid. Guys, what did I say? £1, one person.
Yeah. But it'd be interesting to see if people have signed up because of this, during the live stream. Everyone's going, it took me 10 minutes to sign up. But yeah. Sorry, just tuned in. This is a coral auction website. That is correct. Yes. Yeah. So sorry.
Go on.
No, I'll let you go.
Someone earlier, and I can't find the comment now. Someone earlier, when you just started showing this is how it works, said, "Watch out for this. Here comes the sales pitch," or something. Bant's laughing. This entire live stream is basically a sales pitch. So.
If you're not careful, soon at the start of this show, it's going to be sponsored by reefdork.etsy and Coral-Auctions.
That's a good idea, actually.
Really? I was joking, but if you're happy to do that, then I'm...
Yeah, I need to get... So I've got Laura's got a friend who's a voice actor, and I want to get her to do the intro and the outro as well. So maybe that's the time.
There you go. I've just had another 13 people sign up, Rachel said. So I'm getting little updates as I go along. So
happy days. And you're right, the name came, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? But,
Yeah, that's why. So the difference between this and my other website is these are all... Well, at the moment, for the foreseeable future, they are all going to be what you see is what you get. And I'm going to start everything at $9.99. It could go horribly wrong. That Scully started at $9.99. The Cattle affiliates are $9.99. So it could go horribly wrong for me at some point. But my theory is that some of them will be lost leaders, and eventually, overall, it will work out. So
that's what I want. I want just one to go bad.
Oh, oh, thanks. So what was
Just
the name
one, not all of them.
Was it Hellfire? Did you say?
It looks like a Hellfire or a Dragon Soul or something. But to be honest, I've bought
It's not a
corals
Dragon Soul.
I've bought a Dragon Soul or a Hellfire before, and you look at it, it's like that looks exactly the same as the other one. I can't tell the difference, and it's because
Hellfire / Dragon Soul torch. There you go.
They're made up, so it doesn't mean anything. But anyway, torches are a nightmare as well because they're all just there's so many different like shades of grey, like slight variations, and a tiniest little variation. Someone will be like, "Oh, it's a Holy Grail Dragon Soul." It's like, no, that doesn't make it worth an extra 50 quid.
Yeah. The filtering system doesn't work at the moment, just so everyone knows. So we're aware of it. As I said, there's definitely some kinks with it, but the thing I find most interesting is everyone who said that the filter system doesn't work has looked for searched by the most expensive coral. That's irrelevant with auctions, because with auctions, only the last price matters. So the ending soonest is the only one that actually matters.
But still, even if you're with auctions, if you're searching by high to low, you still get the ones that have had the highest bid on, and that's likely to be the fanciest.
Yeah. That, to be fair, that is true. Actually, that's probably why people are doing it then. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, there we go.
Well,
I'm gonna interrupt the. I know that's because there's a slight delay. I'm going to interrupt the coral-auctions.co.uk chat.
Yeah.
Because we've got to do the usual features, Ryan.
Yeah.
Now, because it's summer and everybody is outside doing stuff and going on holiday and all that sort of thing, there are no member questions, but we do have a Prestige Reef Fish of the Week.
Yes.
What is it?
The Prestige Reef Fish of the Week this week is it Labuti wrasse? Is that how it's pronounced? Which I'm not a massive fan of wrasse usually.
Labuti-licious. Oh
yes. Why is the live stream going? Why is it so like glitchy or why is there a delay?
You've gone quiet. I kind of got yeah. You're back.
Why is there I wonder if it's because Rachel's watching the live stream upstairs. So I'm streaming it and she's watching it. So I wonder if that could be it. Don't know. But yes, I've gone for
anyway, Labuti wrasse.
They are not a utilitarian wrasse of any sort. However, they are one of the few wrasse that I think are nice enough to have no function. And I've never really wanted. I think are they a type of fairy wrasse? They look similar to them. I think they are.
Yeah, they must be syllabrious. Here we go. So,
but they're quite big.
Yeah, whatever it is.
They get quite big compared to some of the other ones. And as I said, I don't know a huge amount about them. I just saw one. And I was like, yeah, actually, I really like that. So there's a possibility I might add one to the water box, but we shall see.
Really? You're slowly coming round to what they called wrasses. I've noticed that. Yeah, recently.
Very, very slowly.
I'm coming back. I promise.
He's just disappeared. It's been all over the place this live stream this week, isn't it?
I'm still here. So what else can you tell us about Labuti wrasse, Ryan?
Not a lot, if I'm honest. They're expensive. They cost roughly £399. I did not know that. So when I said I was going to get one, I was thinking of getting one. I've just thought, not sure now.
Clarence.
So
yeah,
because but don't know. I just, as I said, when I saw one, I thought that's nice. I think they're nicer than that fish looks like it tells boring stories down the pub. This is what Les has written. What do you mean, meh? There's a really, really nice picture of them. I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's not worth it. It's quite unusual for me to have a fish that people absolutely hate. But then again, I didn't know the price.
This is the thing. Like you said before, and I was like, yeah, they're all right. And you're like, you can't believe you don't like it.
I couldn't believe that Alex didn't like it, and now I know that no one likes it.
they're all right. They're just they're cool. I wouldn't pay 400 quid.
Yeah, but
then
the same,
I like the rhomboids.
Rhomboids are a similar price. So Tom said the delay is really bad tonight. So And as I said, I've noticed a big difference, and I'm assuming you have as well, which makes it more difficult. But I will tell Rachel, if Rachel's still listening, if you want to listen, Rachel, you come watch in the living room. If you're gonna have a live version,
live stream. Yeah.
Yes. So, but yeah, if you could not listen anymore, that'd be ideal, because I think that might be.
Do you have a Prestige Reef Coral of the Week?
I do not, because I wasn't planning to do it this early. But what about those? These is it Signaria? Signaria. Yes. We don't know how to pronounce this.
Signaria Coral.
So I've got two of these on the website. Again, I put them up literally for £10. So they are like.
Oh, that's a nice one. Is this one 10 quid? Can I buy this one, please?
I wish. They're similar to Scollies. They usually come in red or green. I keep them in like lower light. They don't like too much flow. If they get too much flow, they don't open up properly. But yeah, they're generally easy. What I find fascinating is they're not that much different to Scollies, but people love Scollies way more than they love these. I think
they're way different to Scollies.
Well, they're round and with a round circle in the middle, and they're all one color. The only difference is this one's bumpy and the other one's
but so is my face. You know, don't mean it's a Scully. So I have a red one, and it's really struggling. I think it's going to die. But I've got there's something funny going on in my tank. I wonder if it might be magnesium, because I've got, so most things are fine, but I've got, at any one point you've normally got a coral that's suffering, right? So I can live with that. I've got a few, and it's not loads, but it's enough that it's like something's going on. And when I've tested my magnesium, it comes in at 1350 or whatever. But I've done a few ICP tests, and every time I've done an ICP test, the magnesium comes back high, like 1700, really high. And I'm thinking, I've tried throwing away my test kit and buying a new one, same result. I thought, have I been doing the test procedure wrong? So I've looked it up. I've watched other videos of people doing it. I'm doing it right. But I wonder if actually the true magnesium reading is what the ICP tests are saying, and my tests are wrong. But something's going on, because there's no other explanation. Everything else is fine. But something's going on, and the Signorina is one of them. It's a really nice coral, but it's just been on its way out, basically. I don't know what it is. It's definitely not getting too much flow.
You can always bring it back here if you want to like see what I can do with it. You're like, no, it's basically a skeleton.
Well, it's just, I don't know. If a coral's on the way out, it might have something going on with it. It might have bacteria in it, whatever. I'd rather just, if I can recover it, I'll recover it. Yeah. But if I can't, I'm not going to go to massive efforts for it. But
well, it's up to you. The offer's there. Obviously, I get corals in literally all the time, and I know what you're saying. If it's like melting, then obviously you're on your own. But if it's just like receded, then the chance I can probably bring it back. But
I want to work out what the problem is. I just don't know what the problem is, but I need to work that out. What I was going to do, because what I'd really like to do, this is the problem. So you're always saying how great massive tanks are, and if your first tank should be 35 feet long and all this stuff. But what I really want to do now, the brilliant thing about the Cade, so I've got those two 25-litre buckets, like barrels. They're brewing barrels, so they're measured. They're volumetric barrels. So I can do a 50-litre water change, which is roughly 50% on that tank, really easily, no problem. How long does it take to filter 50 litres of water? Not long at all. On my main tank, it's about 700 litres. So if I wanted to do a reset and do a 50 or even a 30% water change, that's 200. I don't have a container that size. I've got an 80-litre container, so I can do 10%. That's it. I can do a load of them in a row. But what I want to do is one big 200 or 300 litre water change. And I might just get in touch with an aquarium maintenance company and just say, look, bring me a load of natural seawater or something. But I don't know. That's what I'd like to do, just do a reset, because something funny is going on. And I think if I were to do a 50% water change, that would probably iron it out. Because if I can't identify the problem, well, just do a massive water change.
You could try doing. I don't know. Again, I don't know if I have a 140-litre container as well, if you ever needed it. So But
Yeah, it's
you
marginally
couldn't
better.
come down on your bike though. I don't think that'll fit.
No, I know, yeah. But even then, like, really, that's only 15%, 20%,
Yeah,
18%, something
yeah,
like
but
that. So I wanted,
with the other stuff you have, you could do a big one if you see what I mean.
but then, so you need to do a water change. You need 2 containers, don't you?
Ah, yeah, that's true. Not really, not for me.
So,
I literally just siphon it out down the drain
yeah, okay, fair enough.
and just guess.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, what I'd like to do is a big water change, but that's not an option. But it's just annoying. Most things are absolutely fine. It's just there are enough corals that are off that it's like something's going on here. And some of them, it's like there's a gunny or a Bernard or whatever. It's like, okay, fair enough. They're difficult. They don't like. They're a bit more sensitive to changes. But still, if the water was perfect, they would be okay. So
That was a recommended paddling pool. That's not actually a bad idea.
Yeah, not a bad idea. I've seen people do that when they've had tanks burst or whatever.
This is a bit of a random thing to mention. Did you see there was something on YouTube that's gone around recently. This guy's got this absolutely massive tank in his garden. Have you seen it? But it's split into 2.
Backyard. Yes, yeah.
I don't know if this was part of the news, but I just saw it. I was like, oh my God, that's insane. And I didn't know how he's running that. I didn't watch the whole video naturally. I sort of just clicks and skimmed through it, but I wasn't sure. Firstly, is that connected to the sea?
It's funny because I clicked on this day one when it came out. YouTube showed it to me because it knows I'm a safe bet and I'll watch anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it had like a few hundred views, and my immediate reaction was, "That's going to do well."
Yeah,
and it has done very well. The guy's now got 2,000 subscribers off one video.
yeah. Well, that's the sort of thing worth subscribing to, because
it's like got 67,000 views.
Yeah,
but this is it's an enormous 13,000 gallon pond, effectively saltwater pond. And there are a couple of things I noticed about this. So I really want to know, like, you can't see any water movement in there, or very little. I want to know what he does for flow. For lighting, I presume he just does natural, just sunlight. But there's some of the things in here, like, so you can see all these little like groups of powder brown tangs or whatever they are. It's hard to tell in the light. There's loads of them, and then there's one big. There he is, the clown tang. 2 things with that. One, look at him. There he goes. One, he's a big boy, so he shows how big they get. And 2, that is throughout this entire video, that's what he's doing, really fast, back and forward along this tank that's God knows how long. And the Regal tank as well. It must be 50 feet long or something. And they're constantly going up and down. So if you put one of those in a 4-foot tank, that's why he's aggressive.
yeah.
But yeah, this is incredible. He's got a load of clams. At the end of the video, there are a load of clams as well. And he does a top down bit. But so I've just got like a million questions, and I'm like, okay, you need to tell me how this works. It's obviously been running a while. He's got some awesome fish in there. Because I don't know what that big unicorn looking thing is.
Yeah, it's a unicorn thing. Yeah.
Is it? He's massive.
He's got a gimbal. Really, you can see from the shadow he's got a gimbal. This guy, he's planning to keep going with YouTube.
Yeah. Here we go. Here's the clams and stuff.
I want to know how is that run? Because if he's connected to the ocean,
that's what I'm talking about.
Like, it doesn't look like
no, it's not. He said it's not.
Oh, did he?
But he's got loads of acro colonies that are based out. So it's not like he's just put a load in and taken a video. They're based out and they're growing. And it's like, how are you growing acros in there? Because I'm assuming that he's just turned all the flow off for this video.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I want to know how he does flow. I want to temperature. How do you keep that thing? How do you keep the temperature on that? How do you do a water change on a 13? Exactly. What's your auto top off? Have you got like a hose going into it? And the fish behavior in a tank that size.
I used to.
He's just got a mobile phone. It's not a gimbal, by the way.
I'm sure he was holding up I'm sure it doesn't matter, but I'm sure he was holding up a gimbal with his shadow. But either way, the reason I wondered if it was connected to the ocean was because I used to for 2 years I lived in Australia, like on a basically an island in Australia. So the back of my house, or it was actually my parents' house, literally was the ocean. So I just thought if someone who lived there, they could dig up like the garden and just get a pipe and suck water in from the ocean and have it pumped through an aquarium and then back out. So that's why
I've always liked the idea of doing that, but I think realistically, if you lived in a place where it was possible to do that because you're right above the ocean, you might as well just dive in and see the the fish in their naturality.
Yeah, but the fish were like stripies and monos, so they weren't exactly the most exciting fish.
Okay, fair enough. Look how fatty is that tang. He's like,
yeah,
so
it'll be
hard to
amazing
eat.
when this is like fully up and running. But the problem is, this also looks like the sort of tank that you could, if something went wrong with it, obviously it goes really wrong. So
it goes wrong slowly though. It's like a tanker, isn't it? Turning it around. And the thing is, this is not day one. This tank is not a day old.
Yeah.
It's established. Even from like there they go. He's in the biggest flow cannon. Even with the algae on the power head.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all the
I
algae
just wonder
along here where it's out of the water.
if you have the money to do that and it's not connected to the ocean, so it's not like you're saving money. Why don't do it in the house so you can see it all the time?
Oh, it's way more spectacular in the garden though. He's probably got a reef tank as well.
Yeah, probably.
But anyway, yeah, there's loads of people have been posting about this, and I think it was probably on the Facebook group, and I've seen it on Instagram, and yeah, the world's gone crazy.
Yeah,
very impressive. It's just cool, and it's so smaller than Polo's reef, of course, my mate. But yeah, there you go. So he's got we've seen at least one of his.
What do you want?
It is. Yeah, but it's totally different. I know. How do you control temperature? Like, I don't know where he lives. I'm assuming somewhere warm, but that's not necessarily a good thing. And in the winter, how do you keep it warm? Or do you just live somewhere where it's on the equator and it's 25 degrees all year round?
I wonder if they live in Florida. I don't know, but Florida is the sort of place where you'd get someone to do that sort of thing. But again, salinity. Yeah. Both with evaporation and also rain. I think it might be true. Julian Sprung. I might be wrong. I'm sure he has an outdoor pond, or used to have an outdoor pond that was salt water, which had clams and stuff in it, I think. And he used to say that it was big enough that the salinity wasn't too much. It wasn't too bad when it rained or whatever, I think.
Well, if it rains, that's just like turning your auto top off on. So it would have to rain hard to make a difference.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah, in Florida. There you go.
Oh, interesting. That must be tough though, because it gets hot in Florida.
Yeah, I think he only has a few. Like, I can't remember what to say. I remember he had clams in it. So yeah, lots of big clams. It says.
Yeah. But there you go. Yeah, very cool. That's So I've already lost. I've shut it. But it was cool. If what did I say? Ocean in your backyard, something like that.
Yeah,
you can find it. You've probably already seen it. But very impressive.
There was a guy in South Africa as well that was doing this 15 years ago. I remember he had a king eye in an outdoor pond. I just thought to myself, that would be so cool. There's probably more people do it than you think, that you just don't hear about them. But yeah, if I could do it, I'd definitely give it a go. I think. Yeah,
I've always liked the idea of a saltwater pond. It's just not practical in the UK. It'd have to be inside, and then might as well.
I also think fish don't look the same from top down. And with koi carp, you go, okay, yeah, they're like mostly flat on top. So, but with a tang, you would just see this thin yellow thing moving around, wouldn't you?
That's true. You still need a viewing panel like he's got.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, look, I'm not about to do it.
No, I don't think it'd last very long in the UK. I'm not even sure. It might be possible if you had a big enough heater and unlimited budget, you could do it, but. Yeah, not for me.
No. All right. So there were no member questions. I am just going to go back on quickly and see if there were any member questions that have come up in the last few minutes. Probably not. No, there are none. So, actually, do you know what? Let me just sort by. No, there we go. Every now and then, YouTube blocks them. So that's Prestige Reef Fish of the Week, Prestige Reef Cod of the Week. Oh, Ryan.
We're going to fish well early, aren't we? But it's okay. So there's no news, is there?
There is some news. Well, let's do the news, and then we'll come back and talk about other stuff as well.
Okay.
No blocked comments. Right, news. There's not a lot of news. So because what's his face? Salem, I think he's either leaving or has left Reef Builders. there's probably going to be a dip in their news while someone else gets up to speed. And also Jeremy Gay, because he's got a new job, a full-time job, there's less news on reefkeepingnews.com as well.
Yeah.
Reefkeepingnews.com? Is that what it is? Yeah, reefkeepingnews.com. So it's slim pickings, but there is some news. Firstly, Reef Dork generated news, kind of. There's a new edition of Ultramarine magazine out.
Okay.
It features the Reef Dork butterfly that some people call the Addis butterfly, but I think most people call it the Reef Dork butterfly.
No one calls it the Reef Dork butterfly other than you.
I call it the Reef Dork butterfly. So I've not actually. This arrived, I think, yesterday, and I've not had a chance to read it yet. But there are a couple of things in there that were interesting. There's a detailed guide on mobile phone photography. So if you want to know how to take photos of your fish tank, it's like 3 pages. It goes into loads of detail. And there's also a guide on fish nutrition, like a 3-page guide on fish. It's really interesting, actually. Again, I've not read it, but there's loads of stuff in there that looks really good. So well worth picking up. £4.15 it costs. I subscribe to this. I buy an annual subscription. I can't remember how much it costs. It's probably marginally cheaper, but anyway, it's £4 and it comes out once a quarter.
Yeah.
There's no other options in the UK. So if you want a magazine, sign up. £4 a quarter. You know, that's not bad. £1.33 per month. That's good going.
True. I don't know. I remember when I was younger, I was like, oh, it's almost £5 for a magazine. So,
I know, yeah.
And then again, you can hardly buy anything for like £5 these days.
Exactly.
So,
and I'm sure they've said that they haven't put the price up for years. Let me have a look at I've got a stash, a back catalogue. So when does this go back to? So June 2023. Price was the same, and I think it's been years. I'm sure I read that it was like 10 years and they haven't put the price up or something. So very impressive. But anyway, there you go. That is available now. There's also been a study in the Coral Sea, Ryan. Oh, it's about fish and not even brown gobies.
I'm in. Come on.
I thought you might be. So there's a load of nerds, basically, a load of fish nerds have done a study, and they've analysed a load of video footage. From my understanding, someone put a load of cameras in the Coral Sea in Australia, and then they recorded like billions of gigabytes of footage, and then they had to sit down and go through it and look at all the videos and identify fish and this sort of stuff. And they identified 62 new fish. I think this is new to the Coral Sea that they didn't know were there before. So it's not like brand new species, although there were 21 species that are potentially completely new to science.
Interesting.
Now this is breaking news, so there'll be more detail on it as we go.
Are there any pictures?
So of the 6, there are some pictures. We'll get more later, but there are some pictures. So of the 62 fish that they identified, 45 are new for Australia, and 4 are new for the Southern Hemisphere. And then, as I say, 21 potentially for new to science. They're not just boring brown gobies. We got this bad boy for a start. How's that, Ryan?
Yeah, actually, no, that is quite nice, actually.
That's really nice. That is a dead fish, by the way. That was they found a recently deceased. I think that's an Anthea's. I can't remember.
Yeah, it looks like an Anthea's wife, I think. But yeah, that.
And do you want to see a weird one with massive eyes?
Of course.
Look at that bad boy.
Oh, they look like squirrelfish. I'm assuming it probably is a type of squirrelfish.
I was just thinking that. I'm trying to find where it says.
Why are they called squirrelfish?
No idea. It doesn't look like a squirrel, does it?
No, but that is a cool version of them. Normally they're just red, aren't they? So that is
striking. But they're just
his colours, or if that's his stress colours.
His eyeball looks a bit like a prolapsed something that I probably shouldn't mention on YouTube. So we'll move on. And there's one last one. What's that? A pentarus or something? I don't even know what that is. It doesn't say, annoyingly. Anyway, that's cool as well. That's quite a cool fish, don't you think?
That is cool.
I'm not saying I want it, but it's
sorry,
cool.
I'm just being offended by someone. Someone just sent a message to the website saying, "I like the website. Well done, Alex."
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
They think that you've done it.
Yep, all my work. Yeah.
My name is on the screen.
But there we go. So
that is cool. What even is
that? That is cool. I don't know. I'm sure there's a kind of rat or something. It looks familiar. But anyway, so this one was that's a freshly dead specimen. 140 meters deep, Ryan. That was Ryan.
Yeah.
140 meters deep. And that so the Dr. Seuss soapfish we saw was 30 meters, I think. And these are
Wow. So 104, that is a lot further.
That's bare deep, fam. The Antheas looking thing was, yeah, it is, yeah. Pyron Antheas was 46 meters, and the other one was 216 meters.
They won't be coming for the aquarium trade anytime soon.
No. Well, the squirrelfish is a predator anyway, and its eye looks like a prolapsed whatever. But yeah, there you go. Loads of new fish, and no brown gobies. Thank you, science. Well done.
It makes you wonder, like, what else is out there that's just not discovered?
Yeah, all those brown. Yeah, another brown goby.
All those brown gobies, yeah.
Lots of compliments coming into me for my website.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks,
even Rachel that's what I was reading. She just texted me saying that she's outraged because of all the people, you're getting the praise.
Quite right. Yeah. Good.
There you go.
We have breaking news, user-generated content news. Reefing news for you. Naya salt prices increased from Monday, this coming Monday. 20 kilogram bucket is going to go from 65 quid to 70 quid, which is annoying. Although because it was slightly cheaper than the Tropic Marine stuff until Monday, and now it's basically the same price.
Yes,
but salt's just
good thing you moved over.
Well, yeah. Saved myself 5 quid on the last bucket. So
yeah, true.
I think I've got through 2 buckets of that stuff already. Definitely 1. I think 2. Just get through it so quick when you've got a big tank. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But unless anybody else in the chat has some news, that is the end of the news. So there is no more news. Really slow. I mean, so for a start, it's summer, so people are outside. Weird people are outside and not doing stuff in the hobby. But also, the 2 main news websites are going through a trend. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think they'll both pick up. Yeah, exactly. They'll pick up at some point, I'm sure. But actually, I don't know if Reefkeeping News will do, because Jeremy's going to have his work cut out, and running a website like that must be, if not a full-time job, close to it, part-time job at least. But
I always thought that, like, with Reef Builders, and obviously it was mainly Jake Adams originally, he was exceptional at getting information quickly. I don't know where he got it from, or did he contact them, or did they contact him? But he was like on it all the time, and it just was never the same after that. And I don't know why. As I said, I don't know what he was doing specifically, but like, because I wanted to be like that originally when I started the channel. I even contacted some of these people because you can see where he gets the sources from, like Biota and like some of the fish breeders. They're not interested. It was like there was something that he did that just made it that it just worked.
He probably had the connections. He just mates with everybody.
Yeah.
But so I've thought about messaging brands in particular, because I think they would be interested, but I've always wondered, because like we do this every week, and we do the news, and if I was running an aquarium company that makes products and stuff, I would think, you know what, I'd like to be on that news. Let me email Reef Dork, and I'll tell him, you know, you can't say anything before X date, but this is coming, and I'm not going to let it slip. So I've never had anybody approach me and say, hey, I've had people like tag me in Facebook and say, like, members or whatever, and say, hey, this is news, you might want to talk about it. But I've never had any company message me and say, oh, I know you do the news thing. Why didn't you talk about this?
Oh, they do it to me all the time.
Yeah, right.
No, well,
so they're just not interested. So
maybe we've never offered. There you go.
Well, I haven't offered, but no.
Let us know if you got any goss, especially if you got any goss with like cool new fish or fish breeds or hybrids. If you got any of those like white tangs, let me know, because I'm interested. Like, those are the things that
Ryan wants Casper.
Yeah, I would, trust me. But I wouldn't want one for myself, but I'd be interested to know, because it's like, where do those, when one of those fish comes up, like, who gets offered it first? I mean, they're not going to offer it to me, if you see what I mean, but like, who, like, across the whole world, because like there'd be some people that have got like more clout, if you see what I mean, than other people. So I just wondered how they managed to. Although I think it's done by auction. I actually think it's done by auction. I think someone goes, "Here's a fish," and then everyone goes, "Well, I'll pay 10 grand for it." And next one goes, "I'll pay 15 grand." I think that's how they do it. Which, to be fair, is fair because it's yeah, I suppose
and it's the best way to get the most money.
They get the most money, and
yeah,
and if you can't afford it, then it's as simple as that. So,
Alex, can we add auction of the week for the last minute auction deals, or is that too long? Trouble is, if we do that, then it'll bump it up. So I don't want that.
It'll bump what?
Because if I say, "Hey, look, there's a chalice that's going for 10 quid that should be 200 quid," that will. I could do auction deals that have been sold.
I have a feeling that what's going to happen is on these torches, people are going to go right at the very end and put their price in, and it's going to freeze because everyone's done the same thing. Yeah. And obviously, at the moment, I need to sort that out. That's like a big thing that I need to sort out. So because that's like one of the things that people do. They wait till the last second and then they go, big. That's like the fun of auctions.
I used to do that on eBay. I don't anymore, but I used to do it on eBay, and because it does a countdown second by second, but you're always like, I don't know how accurate that is. Yeah. And if I click, is it going to delay 5 seconds? Yeah. So you've got to time it. You don't want to click at 10 seconds because that's too far out, but you don't want to click at 2 seconds because that's too close. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. I also, the other thing I thought that people might say, and I don't know why, I just had a feeling that someone would be like, we're not sure how I feel about people auctioning off corals. Is that like, I looked today, the earliest livestock auctions of record was 1,100 was the earliest record of livestock auctions. So
the year 1100.
Yeah, the year 1100 is the earliest records. Okay. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Probably a cow or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What I do know I know for 100% certainty it wasn't coral.
It wasn't a Monty.
Yeah. So I just think, why is it any different, as far as I'm concerned? So
I have no issue with it whatsoever.
And generally speaking, I've had a tremendous amount of praise, both from the buyers and like people with tanks, but also the industry has gone, yeah, you've done a good. So I just need to make it work now. And part of that is probably upgrading the server. So, and
if only someone told you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and coming back to you and going, I'm sorry, Alex, I didn't listen.
I've got 2 more pieces of news. Okay. First is from JJ, who says he's been paying for this for 17 months. Member.
There you go.
Mad respect. That's a long time. Appreciate it. And the second, actually, this isn't really news. But so East Coast Reef said he contacted a few brands. They all said they were interested, but none of them ever sent me anything except Matt from ITC. I presume you're talking about new stuff. But this is the thing. Brands don't send. They're very particular about who they send stuff to. And it's very rare, even for me, and I say even for me, bearing in mind my channel is the biggest in the UK and really the only big channel that does reviews, because you don't.
Yeah.
No one ever sends me stuff. Reef Factory went through a stage of sending me loads of stuff. Red Sea have sent me a few things as well, but no one else does. And I always think, why is that? Because you send them to everybody else, and for a start, the first thing is
they've seen some of your previous reviews.
I think that's it. I don't care. I'm not saying, I need you to. I don't. Either way, send it to me. Don't send it. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Like, it would be good if it happens. It doesn't happen. I don't care. It's not a problem. I'm not fishing. But I've always wondered if it's because I'm quite honest in my reviews. And I wonder if they're choosy and they're like, look, we want adverts. We don't want actual reviews. Because in other niches, like cameras, I always talk about cameras. They send them out to loads of people. And I'm sure some people are like influencer about it. But the ones I watch, they're straight down the line. So if it's rubbish or there's something wrong with it, they'll tell you. Yeah. And I wish our industry worked in the same way, that you send it to 10 people and everybody would just be open. I'm not saying the people who make videos are lying to you. I'm not calling anyone out here. I just wish they'd send, all the companies would just say, you know what, we're going to pick the 5 biggest, 10 biggest YouTubers, whatever. We'll send everything out. We'll give you a date when you can put your video go live, say what you want to say, and then everybody benefits.
I know what you're saying. I just wonder if, because, well, there's 2 things. Look, people don't want your honesty to some extent. You are very honest in some of your reviews. So I think some people wouldn't want that potentially. But the other thing is, like, it's a really small niche our hobby. So if something bad is said, it can have a far more. Then again, if something good is said, it can also have a real positive effect. I don't know. I'm just talking, but you see what I mean.
I do, but so I'm never unfair. I've never made a review where I've absolutely slammed something that was, that I shouldn't have done, or that I've said something that was amazing when it wasn't. So I'm not unfair. So if you want, I'm never going to trash something. And if it's good, and if you've got confidence, when Reef Factory started sending me stuff early on, I had a lot of respect for them, because there were a couple of times when they'd send me something, I'd make a review and I'd highlight a couple of the bad things, like it was noisy or it was slow or whatever. And I'd always think that's the last thing they're going to send me. And I'd get an email the next day, watched the video, loved it, thanks very much. And I always thought, brilliant. You're not just looking, they weren't just looking for someone to advertise their products. They appreciated the full on proper review. And I wish everybody was like that. But hey, when I come to power, Ryan, this will all change.
Yeah. Well, when you come to power, I'll be the first one out, won't I? So
exactly. But coralauctions.co.uk won't. Coral-auctions.co.uk.
Yeah. Oh, I really, really wanted coralauctions.co.uk, and I found out today that who owned that originally. It's interesting because she sent me the email. I can't remember the date. Let me just double check the date on the email. Where was it? I think it was something like 2014 was when she originally thought of this as an idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 2014. That's a long time ago if you think about it.
Yeah.
So, but what she said to me, it was actually a really, really nice message to get. I'm not going to say who it was because I don't know if she wants to be mentioned or not, but it was a really nice message to get. To go, look, I thought about doing this. You've done a really brilliant job. Well, I said really brilliant, but you've done a good job. And the only reason I didn't do it was because it's really complicated to do. Now, if you're in IT, this might be easy to do, or if you're a coder or something, you might go, it's nothing, But it was just nice to get recognition from someone who went, it was really hard work, and it was. And as I said, I can't thank Rachel enough, because let's put it this way, I wouldn't have been able to do it without her. That's for certain. So I would have to go to someone else to do it probably.
Yeah. I mean, the timing is good as well, because I'm sure there was someone contacted me. He was Northern bloke. I think he was from Leeds. I can't remember his name. A few years ago, with the same. It wasn't an auction website, but it was like a right move for corals.
Yeah.
And that was the idea, and I thought brilliant idea, but it just didn't ever take off.
Yeah.
So this is not one of those things where it's a first idea. Oh wow, this is a brilliant idea. This has been done before, but no one's ever done it properly. And this one has got the potential to be done well.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, so the other people, if you've done it in the past, and there might be more people who've tried it in the past, the benefit you've got is that you've got a better advertising platform. You've got 59,000 subscribers who you can talk to. You've got your Instagram and all that sort of stuff. So you've got that unfair advantage.
I really appreciated, like, you're a YouTuber but you don't really realize it, do you? Like on a day-to-day basis, that there are all these people around the world that are watching you. And when the website went live and all these people started to sign up, and I said to Rachel, like, it's amazing, because in any other walk of life, if I had started a company let's say if I'd started this website without a YouTube channel, I might have had one or two people click on a link if I post it on Facebook or whatever to try. And it's almost like an instant success, which is just like, it's unbelievable. I've got people sharing it. People I have a WhatsApp group now as well, where what I'm going to do is, if I do like flash auctions, so most of my auctions will go on a Sunday. I'm going to do like flash auctions on the WhatsApp group. So if you want to join that WhatsApp group, it's the link for it is on the Prestige Reef, like 2 posts down, I think. So I literally just a minute ago when I was looking, I went hit a torches.
The Prestige Reef Facebook page.
No, on the Facebook page, there is a link for a WhatsApp group, and on that group you might get an hour's notice. And at the moment, there's 68 people in there, or whatever. But I just think it'll be interesting to not just do long-term auctions, but just do some real short-term ones as well. just to see. I'm just testing things out at the beginning. So I've literally said to people, just add who you want. Anyone who's a fish person, the link is there. Just click it and share it with other people. And people are doing that. So it will allow me to do like short-term auctions as well, for even if it's, as I said, just an hour. It'll be interesting to see just like the difference. Do people prefer them with their short? Because the people that are bidding now have got to wait a week until next Sunday, if you see what I mean. So, whereas the people that are bidding on this torch are going, someone is going to get a torch tonight. So it's far more like interactive.
Yeah,
they're at £76 and £71 at the moment. So you're only £75 out and £70 out.
£0 was my dream, but you know.
Yeah. Do you hear that? He's desperate for me to fail.
Just once. Just once. I want you to succeed on all the other 199, but just on one.
One's currently being won by Solihull Reefer. That is the Hellfire one. I can see who's
Solihull, I think you'll find.
Yeah. And the Rapunzel is currently being won by Mr. Max Tucker. So
cheeky Tucker.
Yeah.
Zachary Leahy says, for me, everyday aquarium. Sorry. For me, my kind of aquarium product review on YouTube is Everyday Aquarist from Devon. I think I messaged him recently because all the good cheap Chinese stuff, Hugger, Night Grew, Viper Spectra, Jebao, Aqua, etc. Every now and then, and yeah, watching Alex set up a tank is like window shopping at Gucci. Yeah, so this is one of the problems, is that the chances are, if you've been in the hobby in YouTube long enough, you're probably at the point where you don't want the cheap stuff and you want the posh stuff, basically.
Yeah.
And so there's no one. I think there's a channel called Budget Reefer actually, but there aren't channels like that, people who are really passionate about the budget stuff. So you don't get that. I actually got an email from ZKSJ last week, who are a Chinese manufacturer. And they said, do you want, if you want a pump, you can have it. You can choose whatever you want. You make a review, you get a discount code, and that earns you a commission.
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in the commission things. It's not my cup of tea. And I have a couple of ZKSJ pumps I don't like. But yeah, you need someone who's really passionate about it. Well, so the thing is, I bought one. It was the TMC one, and here's a review of that. I've just had problems with it. It don't work. So it's like, but I bought a what was it? Was it a Hugger? I think I bought a Hugger. Yeah, I think it was them. Actually, Hugger and Aqua have both contacted me recently as well. I'm just not that bothered. But I bought a Hugger powerhead the other day that I'm going to do a video of some kind about. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Moving back onto coral auctions.
Yeah.
Jay's Real Reef, one of the nicest guys in reefing, by the way, says it's a great concept and the website looks incroyable, but you have to deal with appeals and complaints. If people pay with PayPal, this comes with buyer protection. Does your site allow PayPal, Ryan?
That is a good question. I don't think it does at the moment. But
how do you pay? Just through whatever payment?
It all goes through Stripe, and I think it's where you put your card details in. So Stripe is like a really, really well-known. Like you know who they are, don't you? Like you said they're like one of the most well-known payment people. I don't deal with anyone's money. You have to have all these regulations if you deal with people's money. So which is why Stripe does it for us. Rachel has just sent me a message saying we don't currently do PayPal. So there you go. That's the answer.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. That makes it easier. I don't like PayPal. They just do my head in. I always have problems with PayPal.
Look, I love this sort of feedback because it shows people what they're worried about. And it's interesting because with me, a lot of the people that are bidding at the moment are my own customers that have known me for years. So it's no different to buying off my own website. It will be interesting. Part of me wants to do like a slow introduction of other people. Where you'll get certain shops, for example. Reef mentioned a couple of times, spoke to me about it. I'm assuming that's okay for me to mention. And just to go, right, so what we'll do is we'll have a slow introduction where like it will just be my corals and theirs and a couple of Jason's aquatics, people that have been doing it a long time, as opposed to just one random person. And then maybe they can go start in August. Do you see what I mean? Like a slow introduction of people to get it just because I really don't want this to go badly for anyone. So we'll see. I can't imagine it will go that bad. I can't imagine it will go badly, but I want it to be as, like, I take a lot of pride in customer service and stuff like that with regards to the the Prestige Reef side of my website, and I want it to be exactly the same sort of experience here, but I'm also dealing with other people, if you see what I mean. Like, I can't, if you wanted to sell on there and for whatever reason someone upset you or it didn't go well and you went, I'm not doing it, like, what can I do, if you see what I mean? It's like,
is that a good reason to have PayPal for buyer protection then?
Yes, to some extent, but I'm not sure PayPal would take that sort of. I don't know. I don't know if anyone's ever bought off PayPal. Oh,
this guy says Stripe offer PayPal as one of their payment methods, so you
go.
might be able to add it. But there you go, something to think about, I guess. But
as I said, I don't mind, like, people giving me feedback is great, because like
it's 2 days old, so more
yes,
if you've got issues, we welcome it. Tell us.
I can't I can't think of everything for everyone. One of the apps, so most people didn't see this. One of so Rachel and I did months of testing, not months of, like, weeks of testing, I would say, and we thought we had it like nailed down. And then I released it to, as I said, about 200 people that I've got I have a special WhatsApp group for customers and stuff like that. Alex is on it. I released it to 200 people, and a few people came back saying my bid's not registering. It's because the website wasn't refreshing instantly. So the bid was going on, and then the website would reset after, say, a minute. And if you bid at 59 seconds, it would go on straight away. And if you bid at 1 second, it would take a minute to go on. And you cannot have that with an auction website. No. And we did, obviously, it didn't matter how many testing. I'd never noticed that, because it just didn't really apply, if you see what I mean. So I've just been, if no one had told me that was a thing, then it would still be like that now. But because I had so much feedback of what can change and stuff, it's just been really, really useful. And again, I am so lucky, because other people don't have that sort of thing. Jay's just said Rachel has smashed the website. She's reading all the comments at the moment. So it's and look, is it Nelius? Ryan? Is it Nelius? Is it? Yeah. It says Ryan's done an amazing job. I have not done an amazing job, I can assure you. So, but yeah, it's just important to me that I don't. When I sent an email, I sent a marketing email out, and I said something I've been working on for months, but it wasn't just me, if you see what I mean. So credit where credit's due.
I'm going to divert briefly back to reviews. Kevin H says, have you ever thought about reviewing companies who are small? I'm sure they would like the exposure, and if they make good products. So generally, people aren't interested in niche stuff. I did a video for the Ocean Sea Wave, the oscillating power heads, recently, and that I wanted to make a video because I thought actually that is a cool product. It's a very small company, it's a one-man band basically, of cottage industry, and I wanted to give him the exposure. I think it was cool. It's got some limitations and it's quite a niche product, but that I wanted to do specifically. But if I was going to do that a lot, no one's going to watch my videos. And then it's going to take me a ton of time, and I'm helping 1,000 people instead of 100,000 people. So no, not really. If it's something different and worthwhile, then absolutely, I don't care if it's the biggest company in the world or the smallest company in the world. Doesn't matter at all. But generally, no. And the other thing is, like, new products, generally, if they're from very small companies, they might have lots of issues. Whereas like Ecotech, they know what they're doing. They still have teething issues when they release products, but they've tested things for years and all these sorts of things. So they've ironed out most of the kinks. So I don't know, being an advertising platform for tiny companies, is that someone who's thought of an idea last week or what? So I don't know. Can you do live auctions at Aqua?
No, absolutely not. So I mean, technically I could just upload it onto the website and do it, but actually so I have just spent a lot of money buying 4 brand new 4-foot tanks for Aqua. And I've spent a lot more money buying 4 filters, 4 heaters, for like it just goes on and on. Because last year, obviously, I borrowed a lot of stuff from people, and the one
Yeah.
thing I probably will try and do again is borrow some lights. I've got quite a few,
Yeah.
but I'd want them to be Radeon 4s or above, just because they connect to Mobius and it's easy. And people, it's not unusual for people to have those sort of lights hanging around. Like people go, oh, I've shut my tank down, but I might do it again, so I'll keep the lights. I don't know why people do this. I've still got lights from years ago. So I've got quite a few of them already, but I can't justify spending hundreds and hundreds. It's like the tanks have cost thousands. so and I've bought acrylic ones because I want them to be light. I'm only ever going to use them for the show, and I just think I'm hoping that it will be a yearly thing every year. So it'll be painful this year to buy all the stuff, but then next year it's already been paid for, if you see what I mean. So
well, speaking of which, this is the website, aquah.co.uk. It is the 20th to the 21st of September. It is in Stoneleigh, the NAEC in Stoneleigh in Coventry, basically, roughly. And there you go. So if you haven't got your tickets, sign up. 20 quid is it for a ticket? Hang on,
I think so.
Grab your tickets today.
Again,
20 quid for 20 quid for Saturday, 20 quid for Sunday, or 30 quid for both days.
This is not a given that you're going to have this every year. This will only be every year. You can see how, like as I said, I'm hesitant. Like hopefully it'll be every year. Otherwise, I've invested a huge amount and I have to pay all off in one go. But like, if you want for there to be a big reefing show like this, you have to support it early. So, and I know people go, oh, I don't know what I'm going to be doing in September. Now's the time to start thinking. In fact, it was actually this time last year.
You're going to be doing this.
Yeah. It was this time last year that they asked me to come and have a stand. So now this is my plan time. So although it feels like it's a long way away, it's actually not that far away.
No, it was 3 months. That's not far at all.
Yeah. So if you're not book your tickets, go book them. Plus the hotels get booked up well early. And if you want to come, I stay in the Premier Inn. You stay in the Premier Inn. I think a load of the other YouTubers stay in the same Premier Inn. So
I think it's Premier Inn Coventry South.
Yeah, it is.
But to be fair, so that we planned to go out for a beer afterwards.
Yeah,
that did not happen.
No. And we're not doing anything. We're not doing it. As in, we're not promoting anything this year because what happens on the day? You do like people just go, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And we're like, "Oh yeah, go on then." So you never know where you're going to end up after these events, and that applies to us and other people as well. I guess.
Yeah, completely. Yeah. But yeah, there we go. aquah.co.uk, 20th of September.
There's a VIP ticket which says there's some sort of VIP event afterwards, which I'm assuming that, like, although I'm not sure you're very important.
I'm not even important. I'm just I'm a person, but let's have a look. VIP. 120 quid. Oh yeah, do you know what I read about this? So what this gets you, it grants access to the event on both Saturday and Sunday, which is 30 quid anyway, so okay. And along with the following exclusive benefits: early entry for the general public on both days, providing premium access to vendors, admission to the Aqua. Go on.
Just quickly, that is something that is worthwhile if you're looking for like high-end corals. That's something that's worthwhile because they do it at Macna as well. And I always go in early at Macna for filming or for Reef Palooza. They always let me in before everyone else. But you get to go around and look and see all the corals before anyone else gets to buy them. So you get the first pick. So if I wasn't the vendor, I would definitely be. I don't know if there's a way of getting early access tickets, or is it only the VIP one?
Just no, that's included in VIP.
Oh, is it? Okay.
The other thing you get also is admission to the Aqua H evening event. It doesn't say what that is. Offering the opportunity to network with vendors and industry leaders. 120 quid though. Early access is great, and I guess they've got to make it so expensive that not everybody signs up because you can't get everybody. But that's steep. I think you've got to really want the early access for that.
It depends on what the event is. Like you might be able to sell more tickets if you knew what the event was. So, if it was like a one-to-one, evening meal with you, no,
a cuddle with Ryan,
No, okay. okay, this has got weird.
A private bicep show with Ryan. Yeah, that's a good
No.
idea. He's up for that, by the way, Aquage. But there you go.
There you go. Prime Coral is booked. There's some new vendors as well. I've noticed that they've been showing on their Instagram page. So
okay, I've not seen.
More people are signing up.
And actually, so Jay says no way Yorkshireman's paying 120 quid. And Roger says you've got to add your travel costs, food, etc. to that 120 quid. Actually, when you said that, Roger, I thought of the other way around. If you're already spending 200 or 300 quid, 120 isn't so bad. But again, I think that's priced deliberately expensive, though 99% of people are like, I'm not paying that. Because otherwise, if it was an extra £5, everyone would do it. And it's just no.
I actually think there is value in them not doing that, but having an early access ticket for, I don't know, slightly more expensive, whether it's £10 more expensive or £20. I think that people would pay for that. More likely
10 or 20 quid is too low because you get a lot of people doing that. But yeah, just early access. I don't know. Oh, I don't know.
It's better to get, from their point of view, it's better to get the money than not get the money. And if you're not, there's no, with an evening event, there's a cost attached to an evening event. Opening the door an hour early for some people is not, there's no additional costs attached to that. If you see what I mean. So,
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to go to make it worth, you need to be prepared to spend 500 quid on coral.
True. And the rest.
Yeah. When Nature in Nano says, when does he get his 25% discount code? Have you shared Ryan's?
You've shared it. Have you tagged me in it? And if you have tagged me in it, when did you do it? Because if I know about it, I'm messaging the code to people straight away. So maybe I might have missed it. So, and if you've shared it while I'm on the live stream, then obviously I'm here. But
there you go. But tag him and you'll find it.
Yeah, there's a 20% discount code for everyone who just signs up, and it's 25% if you share it.
Fair enough. Have you had many people sharing it and tagging you?
A few people have, and there's some big people. Aaron's Aquarium shared it. The Scottish Reef has shared it. There's some of my customers have shared it. As I said, it doesn't matter if you're like, even if you just know one person and you can share the WhatsApp group or whatever. We only get to so many people. Like you and I only get to so many people. It's people that watch YouTube. If you don't watch YouTube, you don't know who I am. It's as simple as that. And there'll be lots of people that don't know who I am. So if you know those people that don't know who I am, like I want you to let them know who I am, if you see what I mean. Because the bigger this is, the more people that sign up, the more interested sellers will be. Because what I'll do is I'll go to some of the big sellers and go, look, I have this many customers. Yeah. And they'll go, wow, that's worth doing. So signing up makes a difference. But we'll see.
He's tagged you in Instagram stories twice as well. So that's 50% discount.
Well, as I said, I don't know if it was today. Well, I know, I've just, there you go. I've been tagged by someone. Oh no. Send me a message on Instagram and I'll find it. I can't do it on the show.
No. We've got 7 minutes before the auction ends. Ryan.
We don't need to wait till the auction ends.
We've got to wait for the auction to end.
Why do we have to wait for the auction to end?
Just 7 minutes because I've dragged it out for the last half hour.
yeah, I did wonder what you were doing. I was happy to go like 40 minutes or half an hour ago.
Prestige Cuddle Corner. Good point.
Yeah.
That's a good catchy name as well. Yeah.
It's unusual for us to have run out of stuff to talk about.
So it's partly because I don't think either of us have done anything reefing wise that's noteworthy, and partly because there's no news, and partly because the coral auctions thing. I mean, it's
not the longest topic.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, no, I know.
Right. Alex, any more new fish? No, although I did see a nice koi wrasse, a red-headed Solon wrasse today.
Alex does have a new fish.
I do, but it got the vendor broke it.
I got Alex a yellowhead jawfish the other day, and I put it into the quarantine tank with you know that nice clownfish that Alex absolutely
hates. Dirtbag clownfish, yeah.
and it chewed its tail. So I separated it. It's now in like a box inside the quarantine tank. I'm waiting for its tail to repair, and then I will. I'll let him have it. But I can't give you a slightly chewed fish, can I? So
No, it's very true. Although actually, so I bought that Scarus koi the other week.
Yeah.
With slightly torn fins. He'd been put in a tank with a tang, who had a bit of a peck at him. But I don't know if I'd say the fins are completely recovered, but they're noticeably better now.
Yeah.
And he looks. It didn't take long, and he looks great. So.
Malman just asked if it was worth. If he says, think of going to Aqua. Not sure if it's worthwhile if I'm not spending much.
Where do you live, Malman?
Yeah.
Roughly in the country. Tell us where you live. But so it's not worth if you're not going to spend much and you're not the shore. I wouldn't get a VIP ticket.
It's worth going for at least one day, I would say.
100%. I wouldn't bother if you're not that bothered. Don't bother for the weekend. But the Saturday in particular, which is the busiest day, but Stockport. You're not a million miles away, and Stockport to Coventry isn't terrible. It's well worth it. This is last year was the first time this was on, and there were I think 3,000 to 4,000 people, something like 3,500. Can't remember, quite a lot for our hobby. That's huge. The last time there was a show anything like this was Coral Freaks, which was 5 or 6 years ago, and there were a few hundred people there, and that was still great. But getting 3,500 people together that's big. So I would imagine personally, I would expect anybody who's into the hobby, if you turned up and you were there for even just a morning, you don't have to be there all day long. You might get bored after a full day. It would be I'd be surprised if you went for a few hours and you didn't like it. I'm sure there'll be some people, but I'd be surprised if you went and thought this wasn't worth 20 quid. You
will see things that you don't normally see. So if you go to the same fish shop or the same selection of fish shops on a regular basis, then you usually see the same corals and stuff like that. These events have people that have grown corals for 17 years or 18 years for myself. So I have some stuff that you just don't normally see. And the other thing, you want to bring your best. I'm thinking about bringing an OG bounce mushroom. Do you remember there was one, like one of the expensive yellow bounce mushrooms? Do you remember there was a live stream we did, and I was like, 1 second, I just need to bid on this on eBay, and then there was another person in the chat going, I'm the person that you're bidding against, and we were both bidding for an OG bounce mushroom. Well, that's the bounce mushroom that I was going to bring just to show him what he didn't win. So I'm just joking. I just think it's nice to be able to show people things they haven't seen before, and you don't normally see them that often. So. Yeah, the Mantis are going to bring some crazy inverts. That's true.
Is that this?
That's an OG bounce mushroom, yes.
Yeah, they have these at Yorkshire Reefs in Yorkshire.
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever seen one in a. I can't think of a fish shop that I've seen one in ever. If it wasn't in America, but it's about you see things. The other thing that's nice. You sort of people get to know each other at these events, and you might think you're the most antisocial person ever, like me. But one person will go, oh, I really like that torch. And then the person next to them go, oh, yeah, I was thinking about getting that too, actually. It is a really nice torch. And then that's how people get to know each other. So
yes, true. So from Stockport, it's a 2-hour journey. So it's a 4-hour round trip. And if there are Americans listening who are like, oh, great, no problem. But you got to understand us Brits, we don't like to travel. But so a 2-hour journey is probably enough to put a lot of people off. There will be, and if it was just going for if it was just a different shop, then 2 hours is a long way or whatever, fine. But this is so different to anything else you will have ever seen in our hobby. It's well worth it. Just go.
I think it took 4.5 hours for me to get there last time. So if I can go 4.5 hours and take 1,000 corals with me, you can drive 2 hours and come buy some of those corals. I'm already bringing gonnies. Don't you worry, Jay. I've got gonnies already in the farm that people come all the time and go, I want to buy those. I'm like, nope, those are for aqua. So it seems ridiculous to do that, but because they're ones I've grown myself.
Yeah,
it's
it took me 2 hours. I've just looked, by the way.
Oh yeah, it was traffic. It was really bad traffic for us. That's why.
Traffic. Yeah, traffic was bad on the way back. Can you bring children to the show? As long as they're your own and you don't just find a child on the street, then absolutely. And I think they have like face painting and balloon animals and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
They've got events for kids.
Oh,
and
Rachel just said there's 1 minute left. Make sure you remind people. She sent me a text. See, one of us. Sorry for interrupting. 1 minute left.
But so I think they'll probably do more things for kids this year as well, because they learnt last year. There were lots of things they got wrong and lots of feedback that they got for the first time, and so they'll do more stuff for that. I don't know what they're doing for kids, but yes, you can bring kids. Kids are free. I don't know what age. Kids are free. If you're a 35-year-old child,
yeah,
let's face it, a lot of us are
like me.
Yeah, exactly. Under 12 is free. 12 or under.
Yeah,
and that basically means if you're 13, you can just say you're 12, and then
this is also one of those events. If your partner likes the hobby or even remotely likes the hobby, bring them along. If they don't like it, don't bring them. It is as simple as that, because like it's one of those things where you're really, really immersed in the hobby, and if someone's not immersed in the hobby, they'll be bored. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, that's a good point. The big room out at the back to lock kids away in. There you go. That's what they've got.
There you go.
Just put them all in, shut the door, and then job done.
It's expired. There you go. The first, I think.
Was it £0?
It was not £0. I think one went for 72, which is my lot went for 72, and Dave X went for 84. There you go.
That's cool. There you go.
Now I will get in contact with these two people if you're in the stream still, and you'll have to let me know how the payment system works for you. So that's
happy days.
Yeah, and you're like, yes, we're done. We can go now.
Well, there's just one other comment I saw. So Rudger's got a 10-year-old. He's trying to mold her into reefing, which I love. That. Yeah, just force them. All right,
you can mold someone into something like that.
Yeah, of course.
Can you actually do that?
Just force them, put their head next to the tank for like 10 minutes a day, sellotape it to the tank or something. I know how kids work. So, no, probably not. But you can kind of just be like, hey, look how cool this is.
Yeah.
Like it. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Thank you very much for staying on for so long. Oh, actually, you do the outro, don't you? So
get a bit carried away now.
Yeah.
Well, brilliant. Well, thank you for joining, Ryan, as always, and thank you to everybody in the chat. I feel like we had maybe we just talked to people more in the chat today, but I feel like we had more people chatting. So, and coral-auctions.co.uk.
If you're not signed up, sign up. It makes a difference. And if you want these updates for instant auctions, go find the WhatsApp group on my Facebook or Instagram page. Go Facebook is easier, and add yourself to the group, and then you'll get notified straight away.
And within a week, there'll be not just one vendor, the test vendor. There will be millions.
Well, not guarantee it. No, because it's the 1st of July is when other people can post.
So, 2 million vendors on the 1st of July. So
yeah, so right,
very exciting.
Okay,
right,
brilliant.
Bye.